guys, welcome back to the Toppling TBR. I'm Stacey.
I'm Hannah, and today we're doing part 2 of Empire of Storms. We ended off the first part with right after the battle in Skull's Bay, where Aelin finally tells her court everything that's going on, what their mission is, and they are going to Eelway and
Yep.
the marshes, and Manon and Abraxas show up.
Yes.
So we will jump into part 2. Let's go ahead and do Elide and Lorcan's storyline first. So it starts off with them, doing the whole carnival stuff, and we kind of see the attraction building between both Elide and Lorcan.
Oh, for sure.
And we learn that Elide is a virgin, which
Yes.
good freaking thing because she's never had any freedom, so that would not be a good thing if she was not. But
No.
it's a huge contrast, right? So Lorcan's, centuries of bad behavior and whatever else he does. So I think it's probably a new experience for him that he's going to have to, earn that trust in a way that he's never done before.
Yeah, exactly.
So shortly after that, we have the Fort Oaken show up, and Lorcan learns that Marianne is actually Lady Elide, Lady of Peranth.
Yep.
And I think that kind of also shifts things for him a little bit because now it's not, oh, do I want her? It's, do I deserve her?
Yeah.
I also think he was a little mad to be lied to.
Yeah, but he must have understood that she was trying to protect herself and she
Yeah.
didn't know she could trust him. But I guess at some point he probably thought he had earned some trust and she still didn't say anything. But when is a good time for that?
Right. And also, though, like he comes up to her with like all of this anger, like you lied to me. And she did not bog down at all. She was like, excuse me. And she called him out right back, which I freaking loved.
Yeah, she's got balls. She's got
She
balls.
does, man. She uses her words like weapons. Like I
Oh,
love the way she's able to just like cut people down. Yeah,
good
it's
for her.
deserved.
Yeah.
But then he tells her that, what, I should take you back to Marath. And she's like, hell no, I will kill myself before you can do that. Which, I would too. But there was a moment after that too where Lorcan was like, I can't take the word key from her. I have a line. And I'm like, okay. I don't think he would have drawn that line with anybody else though, do you?
No, I don't think so either. I think that the time that they've spent together has really impacted him in a really significant way. And
Yeah.
and he also knows that she can't protect herself. It's not right either. Not right.
Yeah. And he promised to, take care of her and protect her. And he promised not to abandon her. So,
Yes.
I mean, everybody says Lorcan's a man of his word.
Yep.
I guess we
Well, he's
see that
certainly
here.
proving that. He's
Yeah.
proving that.
But then after that, they open up to each other, and she kind of tells him about her past, and he kind of tells her about his past. And then she even opens up about the fact that she can't read, which
Yeah.
I don't know. That makes her journey so much more impressive to me.
Yeah.
Can you
I
imagine
actually
going?
had no, I no. Like, I
But
didn't know that she couldn't either. Like, that's not something that we kind of
I think
knew
it
either. We found out when he
mentioned
did.
it whenever she was trying to like read the maps and stuff, like spying on Manon stuff. I think it mentioned it, but it wasn't like a big point. Like she didn't address it to
Yeah.
anybody.
Yeah.
So, but then I think more Ilkin came or something. They end up running and stealing a boat,
Yeah.
and um, Lorcan kills the boat owner. And I think that was like really big for Elide because we see like her principles clashing, with his more practical approach.
Well, yeah, but she made a promise too, right? So she was like, "I promised it."
Yeah,
And he was like, "Well, I didn't."
yeah, but exactly. So Lorcan's really good at finding loopholes and, blood oaths and promises
Oh,
and stuff. So who did you side
oh,
more with that? Did you?
I think that Lorcan did the right thing because at the end of
Same.
the day, they're trying to get away clean. Leaving a loose end like that was really dangerous, and it's already really dangerous. And how
Yes.
can you protect somebody that doesn't seem to want to protect themselves either? Like, I
Yeah.
get where she was coming from, but it was that guy or them, and I would have picked them too.
She's gonna
But
have to harden up sometime along this
yeah.
journey because things are tough.
She's gonna see a lot of shit she don't wanna see, and she's just gonna
Absolutely.
have to accept it.
And I say she's been sheltered forever, but she hasn't. She's seen some trauma. She's seen some bad stuff, but now she's out of her cage and she's seeing it
Yeah,
from other people, not just Vernon and the Valg.
yeah. Well, she's
So
got trust issues anyway, but she was trusting a complete stranger to protect her.
yeah.
Like, that seemed a little weird to me, I don't know.
Okay, but what other options did she have? Just him or herself? And honestly, if I were her and I had this big badass Fey warrior that's like, yeah, I'll protect you, I'd be like, okay, cool, please do.
But she has to help him out a little bit by not attracting more trouble.
I know.
Like, she's already got trouble coming at her from all sides.
Yes. So then while they're on this journey, Lorcan finds out that the word key that he is carrying is a fake. And he
I
gets an
thought that was
Aelin's little
hilarious.
sassy note, but he's pissed.
Oh, yeah. Aelin is in trouble.
Oh, right? So he's still mad that he storms in there and he is well, he finally tells her that Aelin is Selena. I guess that was the turning point for him, but he is just talking shit on her. And oh my gosh, another moment where Elide just like cuts him down with his words. She was like ruthless to him. What did she call him? She
Oh,
called
yeah.
him like pathetic and lonely and basically told him that he doesn't have friends because he sucks and that
Yeah.
she'll be the judge of Aelin. My
It
gosh.
was pretty funny. It was pretty funny.
It was harsh.
Probably
It
never
was
been
so
spanked.
harsh.
Yeah, but he's probably never been spanked like that in his life.
No,
From this
which
little, like, part human girl too, like, 'cause she's part witch too, like, she's immortal, and she's talking to him like that. That's some balls, man. I
yeah,
thought it
it
was
is.
hilarious.
But
She didn't
also, like
care.
no, she didn't, but also kinda mirrors, like, other couples in this. Like, I feel like every couple, every pairing, I guess, like, even with Rowan, Aelin should have, been scared, or even with Manon, Dorian should have been scared, but, like, all of these people who stand up to them, I think that the people who have the biggest walls and are
Yeah,
feared always, like, kinda need to be humbled a little bit to open up and,
yeah,
like, form a connection.
definitely.
But I don't know, I feel like even though Lorcan's talking all this shit, I don't think he hates Aelin by any means. I honestly just think he's super envious of her.
Yeah,
Like, she's got a purpose and allies and, all of these things, and what does he have? He has Maeve and emptiness. Like, that's it.
yeah, yeah, that's pretty much it for him. That would really suck, but then what else would you know at that point? You can't
No.
miss something you didn't have either.
Yeah, but also it could be intriguing. It could be like, "Oh, what's that like?" Like, back whenever Manon was like, "What is love like?" Because she's starting to be curious about it. People are trying
Yeah.
like, they're growing and branching out from whatever they've known for their entire life. So, I
Yeah,
don't
but he
know.
was on a mission as far as he was concerned, he's on a mission. You can't let anything get in the way of that, but I think Elide is, like, just slowly chipping in there,
Yeah.
and I don't think he knows how to deal with that either.
No, he does not. And
How do you
he's
deal
never
with
been
that?
vulnerable at all or even, like, in a
Never.
position to not be the most powerful.
Yeah. Yeah, that must be really it must be complicated for him. There's some complicated feelings in there.
For sure. So even after, all of the lead's venom throwing at him, he's still like, all right, well, I have plans with Aelin, so I'll take you to Ilway, but we're still gonna go under the guise of husband and wife, which, I get. He promised to protect her, he likes her, he's
It's
lonely.
easier, I think. It's easier to continue on something you've already been
Yeah,
doing than to try and create a new situation. Well, that
for
kinda makes sense to me, but I think at the same time, he likes how that affords her more protections, because no one's
yeah,
gonna touch your wife, especially
yeah.
when you're a giant.
And I don't think he even, like, thought about that until he saw those men looking at her that way, and he's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, shit, you're right."
Yeah. Well, why would he? He's never had to deal with this
Yeah.
before.
No.
It's, yeah, lots of firsts for him. Lots of firsts.
So then they, pull over to get supplies, and poor Lead cannot catch a break. Oh, Vernon and Nilken are there, and Vernon tells her that Manon is dead and Lorcan left, and he is taking her back to Marath, and
Yep.
we really see that she was not lying whenever she was like, "No, I'll kill myself before I'll go," because she takes his knife and she's about to kill
Oh, yeah.
herself, and we see this, like, terror in Lorcan when he stops her, but I really enjoyed this scene too because we get to see Elide in action for once. Like, I don't know that she's ever killed anybody or anything, and she's killing these Oaken now. I think she killed 2 of them.
Yeah.
So there was I don't know. It's nice to be able to see that she can step into those shoes too.
Yeah.
She's got that
She's
wrath,
yeah,
but
she's incredible.
she
She is
really
absolutely
is.
incredible.
She really is. So then they get back on the boat to go, and she finally shows Lorcan the word key, and he tells her about the keys and about the gate and
Yeah.
everything. So I really enjoy now that everybody, all the players, kind of know what's going on with Aelin telling her
Yeah.
court and him telling her. I think obviously the more people who are not Valg who know can help. It's literally the
Yeah.
living versus the evil demons, whatever they are.
Keeping it a secret's not doing anybody any favors because you don't know who might have a piece of information that you actually need if you
Yeah.
don't open your frickin' mouth. So,
Or some
yes,
brain power to get you to a different conclusion or a different route, or Alita's brilliant, so why not
even
put her
somebody
in.
who was not taught, like, she wasn't educated, and
Yeah,
she is as smart as a whip, and
I
that is incredible.
and it makes me wonder, what would she have been like if she did grow up with that education? Or do you think that
Mm,
she had to, like if someone's blind and they have to, hone all their other senses more, I wonder if she's become
Hmm.
more powerful in those other ways because she was lacking in this other one.
You know what? You're probably right. She may not have been as intelligent. She may not have had the smarts that she had because she's had to adapt. So yeah, I think probably a bit of both. Like
But
she
they're
may not have
there.
been. Oh yeah, she's got the raw skills right there.
Yeah,
She found another way, and that's kind of beautiful in itself.
it
She
is.
found another way.
It is. So they, kind of get over all of the shit that they've been talking to each other, and they're like, "Oh, always they will always find each other."
Yeah.
Oh. And then even Lorcan giving him her shirt or his shirt for her period. I was like, "That's so sweet," in a weird, gross way.
Yeah, I was that's where I was at too. I'm like, "That's weirdly disgusting, but quite
Yeah,
adorable."
yeah, I don't know how to feel about it, but hey, it's sweet
Yeah,
coming from him.
he had no other choice, and that was what he could do for her. So
That's
I guess that was quite tender. In
yeah,
his way, that was him being
that's
really
his version of
thoughtful.
giving her flowers or
Yeah,
chocolate,
here's
whatever.
my shirt for you to bleed on.
Yeah, yeah. Peace. Uh
I thought it was sweet.
So they arrive at the marshes and Elide, and she's not the only one, but she can like really feel all of these, dead, trapped people beneath. And she's like, this is not a place for
Yeah,
the living. Like,
yeah.
that place just seems so eerie to me. And then we learn that Lorcan has been in love with Maeve ever since he saw her, which gross.
Yeah, but is it love or is it
He
something
said
else?
I've been in love with her since. So like, I don't know. I think it's
But
I,
what's his version of love though? Because
exactly.
how
Does
can
he
you know
know?
what that is when you haven't experienced it before? And she's given you
Right.
nothing but demands.
Yeah.
And she
I think it's
laughed at him. Didn't she laugh at him when he
I
offered himself?
yeah. Wait, Maeve?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't remember. I think that he said that was he the one that was an orphan? Because it went into the backstories of Lorcan and I think Fenris as well. I think Lorcan was orphaned and then she saw him fighting and she like recruited him, I guess.
Yeah.
So I'm
I thought one of them, well, I thought it was Lorcan. I thought he turned around and said that he offered himself to her and she laughed at him.
maybe.
Yeah, I think I read
I
that, so
think
I'm gonna have to find that now.
right on the back end of him saying that he's in love with Maeve, Elite and Lorcan make out. So, seems like a sexy time. But
Yeah, that was a weird opportunity right there.
I agree.
I'm in love
But
with someone else.
what she's like, no, what about me?
Yeah, but you have to wonder now, is he realizing that how he feels about a lead compared to how he feels about Maeve, that he must realize the difference now?
Yeah, he has to. I mean,
He has to.
I think it's a faction also of like wanting something that you can't have and that he's also like this powerful male and she's even more powerful than him. So it's kind of like
Yeah.
he puts her on a pedestal.
Yeah, you might be right there. You might be right
So,
there.
after that they're kind of interrupted by, Lorcan sensing this 500 army of Ilkin approaching. So, and then he sends out, this warning blast. Well, we'll come back to that. That's where I'm gonna
Yeah,
leave
there's a
them.
lot to unpack there.
Yeah. So, okay, let's jump to the other crew on the ships. You were wondering how Abraxas found them, and we didn't actually find out how he found them, but she did say, "Take me somewhere safe."
Yeah, but then the witches turned around and said that we asked him where she was. Sorry, now I'm jumping ahead. So
You're good.
obviously he has, I
Yeah,
don't know, there's some kind of he's got knowledge.
he does.
I
He
don't
does.
know. He seems to know stuff because that boat would have been moving. How the fuck did he refine them?
Yeah, and they're on the water with the wind and stuff. Like, how do you smell?
Yeah, there's something about that wyvern that
Yeah.
I don't know if we're just not supposed to know, but he obviously has some kind of a skill.
He's brilliant.
Yeah, he's absolutely
He takes
brilliant.
Manon exactly where she's supposed to be.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. But I don't know if he was because didn't they say something about their magic? Maybe I'm jumping ahead. Never mind. I've got something in my head right now. Like because we walked through the mirror together. I'm wondering if
Uh-huh.
maybe there's a connection between the two of them and
Oh,
Abraxas can
maybe,
feel that.
maybe.
And
Yeah.
he
I
was
mean,
following because their fates are all intertwined, right?
but also, so Abraxas was created by the king of Otterlin, right? He created those wyverns.
Yeah.
So they are, in a sense, I guess, part Vogue. So maybe he does know all of the like interconnected fates and stuff because he's a part of it as well.
I don't know. I remember when they like that part in the book and they're together and they're watching that stuff unfold. I'm like, their fates are so interconnected. I wonder now if Abraxas could sense something and he followed like a trail of this
Yeah.
is supposed to happen. Like, I don't know, maybe fates were guiding him.
Yeah, maybe they're
Maybe
touched by
I don't
God
know.
too, because you know how, like, all the other people have their
She's
God
been
touching them?
they've been puppeteering the
Yeah,
whole fucking time.
who
Yeah,
knows?
there was I have so many questions.
I know, I feel like in the second half of this, I have, like, so many questions too that I wrote down, so I'm curious to see, like, if you know or if you've picked up on certain things too.
Yeah.
Okay, so Manon is resting and healing, and Dorian, it's actually watching Rowan heal her, which is cool because he'll be able to
Yeah.
pick up on that. And then one thing that Dorian said that I was like, what? Is he was wondering if Nehemia had awakened his magic in him whenever she touched his chest by drawing word marks on him. And I was like, that's so cool because I didn't realize that she had drawn a word mark, but now he said that she had. And
Yeah.
how cool would that be?
Wow.
Or I don't know. I mean, maybe it was her way if she did it, maybe it was her way to, like, what if Aelin fails? Maybe I can give this war an extra.
Yeah, because he was the other piece, right? There
Yeah,
was 2 potentials there. Oh,
yeah.
that's interesting.
So I
Nehemia
got
definitely knew a lot more than she was letting
yes, she
on.
did. She is a very, very, I in every little pocket of this. She knew what was
Yeah.
happening.
But she was willing to give up her life for what she believed in to
I know,
save
right?
everybody. That's kinda badass.
Yeah, it is. So, Manon tells Dorian that if he finds the 13, she is his to command,
I
which
thought that was cute.
yeah, it was. I mean, it shows her love for them for sure. They are her family, but also she doesn't really have a place in the world right now, too. So
No.
I think she's realizing that these people are good people, so why not ally with them?
Well, yeah, she's also like, it's not that she doesn't have a place either, it's just she could pick more places than she realized.
Quite
I
ready
don't
to
think she
step into that other
yeah.
one.
No, but that must be like, she always felt like she had to be this, and now she's realizing, "Well, actually,
Yep.
I there's a lot more to me than that." That must be interesting
Yeah.
to feel
Interesting
that
and
way.
terrifying.
I don't think she's scared. I don't think she's necessarily scared, but it's gonna be different. Lots of stuff to
Yeah. It's
process.
big change for sure. So, another thing that it mentioned in there, and I don't even know if this was in this part, but it mentioned Erewan potentially, like, training his creatures to resist Aelin's fire magic. So I was wondering, did Erewan know that Mala's bloodline would be the one to fight him in this final battle?
He must. He must know.
Yeah.
He must because he didn't like, from the sounds of it, the only kingdom that he really put anything into was Dorian's, right? Into the king got like
Oh, the Valk,
did he
yeah.
d yeah, he didn't do that to any other kingdom, right? Or
I
any of the other ones like that?
don't think so.
No. So why them if he didn't know? If that was
Yeah.
a potential
Actually, it's because the Duke and the King went to his tomb, and they're the ones that let him out, so I think he just took over them there, but I don't think
yeah,
he's
but he
actually, like, branched out and really left Morath since then, except for whenever he went to
that's
go
what I
fight.
mean.
Yeah,
Yeah. I don't know.
I
It's,
don't know.
yeah, I don't know.
So many
I don't know,
questions.
see, I'm overthinking everything now,
So am
everything. I'm
I.
like,
That's what this deep dive is doing to me. It's making me question
"Yep,
everything, and, like, I've already read it, and I'm just like, "What is going on? What is this?" So
more questions, more
right?
questions."
I know. So, okay, so Aelin then wakes up on fire and she's kind of out of control. And Rowan is able to tell her, like, you're its master. I see every part of you and I'm not afraid. And I thought that
Yeah.
was so sweet that he just fully
Yeah,
accepts her.
to know what to do, like, that
Yeah.
was
I think I think that just, like, their relationship is that though. Like, it is chaos and calm. Like, she is, this fiery, haughty girl, and he is able to, like, bring her back down every time.
yeah,
They're a really, really good balance.
I like it. I do, I like it. I didn't know if I was going to really connect with them as a couple when they first started floating around the idea, but nah, they're endgame for me for sure.
They're what each other needs, for sure.
Yeah, yeah,
So, Dorian keeps sneaking into Manon's room to watch over her, and I brought up the yielding in the last part. We learn a little bit
yeah,
more about it here. Basically,
yes,
it's a sacrifice. They can turn themselves into a bomb, which
yeah.
that's wild. I could not imagine, and it makes sense that the older witches don't do it because
Well,
I don't
hello,
know.
you
They
can't
don't
come back from that. But it's
know.
kind of like it's kinda like when you're a spy and they give you, like, the poison thing t to die so they
Yeah.
can't take you alive, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
instead of that, you can take out other people with
y
you, so, it's a little bit better
yeah.
than just killing yourself with a capsule or whatever.
Makes you wonder though, if they all like I know that they say they can't, that's the only magic they can do, but then I wonder if there would be a way for them to tap into it as a collective and do something without killing themselves.
Yeah, I don't know,
Like, it
and
seems like a weird thing to have.
how do they use it? Are they like, "Alright, now's my time, here, let me push this button." Like,
Is
I
there a
don't know.
spell? Yeah. Do you pull ripcord? Like,
Yeah, I have no idea. No idea. But it's interesting though that they've got just this one little blip of magic that is super duper powerful, but obviously can't be
but it's
used
the
unless you're
only
willing.
thing they can do.
Yeah, that's
It
unfortunate.
is crazy. It is
And I wonder
crazy.
where that came from too, because the Vogue, do they have magic? I mean, I know Erewan has magic, but like, where did that come from? Did it come from the Fae/human side, or did it come from the Valg? I don't know. I'm so many questions.
Yeah. That I can't answer that.
Yeah, I don't know either. Okay, so Dorian is
Mm.
sneaking in her room, and Manon is like, "Oh yeah, well, if you're gonna keep sneaking in here, you might as well have the decency to make sure I get something out of it." And we see them. She thinks they're gonna have sex in this moment, but he's like
Yeah.
practicing control. How do you think about his invisible hands?
Be, fun.
Right, right. So, yeah, I thought that'd be super fun too. But I did also really enjoy the fact that, like, he looked at her chains and was like, "I need you to say yes." That's gentlemanly of him. But also, like, I think it was like a flashback trauma to, like, him being enslaved and having to do things that
Yeah.
he didn't want to do.
Well, because right now she's their prisoner too, right? It's not like
Yeah.
she's there of her own free will. So he would be taking advantage, and I think I would want clarification, like,
Y
this has to be you have to wanna do this. Don't feel like because I'm holding you hostage that you're
Right.
but he is such a like, the more that I read and introduced to him, the more of you can see how sweet he is inside. He's so compassionate. He's a
Yeah,
really he's very gentle in his approach to a lot of things, except when it comes to, like, fighting for his friends and his family, like, things he believes in,
right.
then he is
So are you liking this character growth with Dorian more? He's more like a little bit more hardened now, but he's still, his soft inside, but it's such a big contrast to, this sweet little soft bookish prince that we had in the earlier books.
Yeah, I think that this was necessary growth because if he didn't harden up, I don't think he could have done the hard stuff that needs to come.
Yeah.
There's so many things he's probably gonna have to do now that he's gotta be prepared for that. So this growth was necessary. I think it's more in line with a more grown-up version of him too, because he was young, and I feel like we've just watched him go from, like, almost kid to adult. Like, he stepped into from prince to king.
King
Like, these
now,
were all
yeah.
yeah, like, he's had to make these adjustments, and I actually quite like him now. He
Yeah.
doesn't feel so I don't know. I think he was just with all the, I can have any woman I want. And Manon is also showing him that he's got to try a little harder. Like, you can't just have me. You have to, like, I think he's realizing that to get the good stuff, you have to work for it. And yeah,
Yeah.
I like it. I think this is,
Good, I'm
I think this is
glad.
good. Yeah, I think this is good for him. The growth is good. I think Manon is good for him. Hoping
I
that they
agree. I
I
agree.
I like the 2 of them together. I do. I think that her awakening of her humanity and his needing to harden a little bit, that they're right for each other.
I think so too. And it's been really it's that is perfect also, but it's been really nice that like Dorian wants to stay in control. He said, "I will never beg for anything again." So that mixed with her, she's always been in control and now she's learning to be
Yeah.
vulnerable and kind of let go and let him have some of that. And I think that was
Yeah.
needed on both of their sides too.
Yeah. And I think it's working really well. I think
I
it's
agree.
she's gonna give some of his strength to him, and he's gonna give some of his strengths to her. And it's, yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes
Me
in the
too.
future. They're one of my favorite would will they
They are my favorite. So, like,
yeah?
even from the
Yeah?
beginning, whenever he was in the Vogue, I'm like, "I love this. Wherever this goes, I am on board with it."
Oh, I was too. I told you, crunching on each other. I loved that. It was nice. But I'm really enjoying how they're developing as separate entities and as a pairing. I like
Mhm.
it. It's good.
A lot of growth. Okay,
Yeah.
so then Aelin ends up going in there, and she finds out that Manon had, like, dropped a lead off, and so she strikes Manon for it, which at first I'm like, "What the hell, Manon? Like, why are you gonna allow that?" But then I thought about it and I was like, "Oh, well, she let her grandma do the same thing, so is it just trading one, figure of authority for another?" But also you're in
Yeah,
chains, you can't really do anything about it, but she took it. She took it. She didn't even, like, say anything about it.
because I think she felt the same way,
Yes.
because didn't she at some point think that Elide was dead?
I'm not sure, but I know that she probably was beating herself up about it too because she really
Yeah,
cares.
like, that was she must have known that she had no skills, that she's dumped her off. She had no idea where she went because she sent her off to go and find Aelin in
Uh-huh.
Tirson, right? And
Yes.
obviously that wasn't where she fucking was. Like, she must have been like, "Shit, what did I do?" Like, I think she probably had some, like, severe guilt there. And we
I
see
agree.
that later on when she's trying to protect her, that she cares for her so deeply.
Oh, yes, she
So
does.
deeply. Yeah.
So then Dorian is talking to Aelin and he's like, "Hey, I think we should let Manon out." She's like, "No." And then Dorian's like, I am king too. And he was pretty like subtle about it, but I'm so freaking glad that he said something because he's just
Yeah,
allowing
but
her to
you
call
could
all the shots.
yeah, but you could feel that even though he said it, you could feel that he was like, "I'm not taking no for an answer, really. I'm saying this in a really pleasant way, but this isn't over." You know what I mean? I felt that. I'm like, I
I
felt his energy. It's
Yes.
yeah. He was
And
like, "Yeah, this."
I'm really glad that Aelin agreed so quickly too. It shows, they do have this strong mutual respect for each other. And it's really cool to see like they're gonna now that she's recognizing also, oh hey, you are king, you're right. They're gonna have to
Yeah.
collaborate and they have completely different styles and temperaments and everything like that. So I think it's
Yeah.
gonna also make a really good team.
Yeah. Well, it's nice because what I found with Aelin is that she is leading them all, but what she did there was she turned around and took what he had to say, and she didn't say no and leave it at that, because that's kind of how she was coming across, like she's just leading the charge. That showed me that she takes into consideration that they're all together and
Mhm.
they're all there together, and I really enjoyed that because she could have just said no and that would have been it. Like, what would Dorian really have done? Was
Totally
he going to
wouldn't
go
let
up
her out
against
anyway.
fucking
Anyway, because then what is Aelin gonna do? Is Aelin gonna hurt you?
no, but then at the same time, Manon would have had to have left, because if he'd have let her out,
Right.
he would have had to let her escape, because I
Right.
don't it would have just been war. And then again, Abraxas wasn't there either, was he? He was gone. Didn't they
No,
send
he
him
was
off?
there at this point.
Oh, is it that time? Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So they go in to free her, and we find out that Fenris is not Fenris. It's the Bloodhound, which
I love that she could spot.
I know, but I'm also wondering too if it's because she's part Vogue, and so is it, so or the Bloodhound, whatever it is, she, I don't know. But one question I had is this Bloodhound looks at Lysandra and like hisses, and it's like Shifter. Well, the Bloodhound was wearing Fenris's skin, and the first time we saw it, it was wearing another girl's skin. So was the Bloodhound created from a Shifter as well? Because
Maybe.
how was it able to wear all these different skins? And they like to get people with magic to turn them into his creatures. So I'm
Yeah.
wondering if
Ooh.
shifters are super rare. So maybe she was like, "Ooh, shifter, like there could be another one of me," or I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But then
That
her
was that
eyes go all murky and she's able to like go communicate with Erewan, which is it just this bloodhound that like has this like collective conscience with him and can communicate from afar, or is it all of his creatures? Because if it's all of them, that's
that's
terrifying.
terrifying.
Yeah.
Terrifying, but yeah, it would have to be all of them. It would have to be. Why would I need that one?
I don't
Oh
know, but there's
god.
only one bloodhound that we've seen, and there are like numerous ilkin. So
Maybe the bloodhounds can do it then. Whoa, that's, he is quite terrifying in what the fuck he's got going on.
hell yeah, he is.
Oh god.
So then the bloodhound tells Manon that Astrid is dead.
Yes.
And she calls her a Kraken queen in front of the whole crew. So now they know that she is a queen, and that's pretty cool. I mean,
Yes.
that now she's not just the witch slash their prisoner. It kind of like gives her a place in their hierarchy, and they can include her in their plans because she's got a title. She's got
Yeah.
a claim to, these deadlands, but whatever. She's she's just as
She's a rallying point now.
Mhm.
She's somebody that can go and rally her people. But I wonder if they hadn't have found that out, I think she still would have become part of their inner circle anyway. It would have happened.
I do
It just
too.
happened sooner. Because
Yeah.
she has skills. She is smart, she is fierce, and
She's
she's
loyal.
yeah, oh, highly, very.
And Aelin even made a comment. She's like, "I know I saved you for a reason."
He said,
Then Dorian ends up killing Bloodhound with, the invisible hands.
Yeah.
And we find out I don't know if it was Bloodhound or the Ilkin that say, but we find out that Erewan now knows that they carry the word key,
Yes.
which
It was bound to happen.
it
It's
was
bound to
bound to
happen.
happen, but it kinda makes them a target, a beacon for him to come to them now instead of
Yeah.
I don't know. So it's dangerous. It's all a dangerous game.
Yes. They're
But
running out of time now. Before the time constraint was there, but now it's like someone sped that clock up.
yes, for sure.
Yeah.
So then, they fight off the Ilkin, and we see Fenris and his little teleporting a little bit. But so this was I don't know if this stood out to you. This one's been eating me up and I've been trying to figure it out. So Fenris makes a comment to Aelin and he
Yeah.
says, "Nameless is the price of Maeve's allegiance. It can't be purchased." Excuse me, how does he know that expression? That nameless is her price? Like,
She
that's
must have said it. She
no,
must
I
have
don't
said
think
it.
so. That's been the gods and stuff, and Elena that's been saying it to her. So my question is, okay, so we haven't learned much about his teleporting, except for he said that he can travel between the folds. So I'm wondering if he can travel or like slip in between the folds of different realms, and like maybe he's come
Maybe.
in contact with like the gods or something. I don't know, but the fact that he said nameless is her price was so weird to me, and I've been trying to
Yeah.
figure it out.
Well, I assumed that that was something that Maeve would have,
I mean,
but I
I
guess not if you didn't pick that up.
No, the only people that have said it has been, like, Elena and the gods, right? I'll have to go
Yeah.
back and look, but I'm pretty sure.
Okay, now I'm curious.
So, yeah, I'm like, how does he know? So that was another big question for me. But
Yeah, now it's one for me. Thanks.
I have a lot more. Yeah, but then we see that, Eelway is burning, and now they're going along the coast, putting out the flames. And also another thing that it mentioned in there that I was like, "Huh," is that Aelin wouldn't waste her chance for an heir, even if the timing was off.
Yeah.
Which I get because she's always she's never wavered from, like, ruling
She.
and keeping Terrasen safe, so providing an heir would, guarantee that her line carry on, but, like, you're in the middle of fighting Vogue, like, why would you even so
What
what,
would you
you get
think
pregnant
about?
and you're gonna be pregnant while you're fighting Erewan? What is that? That doesn't make sense.
I think what she's trying to do is because she knows that she's even fighting for a crown right now. She's fighting for her throne because they're being really resistant to her.
Mhm.
That
Yep.
her having a husband and an heir, I think, and her dying for them, maybe that would bring them all
Solidify it.
together. I think she's trying to find a way to bring her realm together under what she would have been able to not be able to continue for herself because she would have been dead. But I actually understood that because
Yeah.
if you think about it, she dies for them. She's left people behind that can rule. I think that would unite everybody. One would hope anyway. They seem like little
Yeah, I
fuckers
could see that.
up there.
So then they finally arrive at the marshes, and Abraxas is ordered to go. And
Uh-huh.
this part made me laugh. So Rowan to me is honestly, pretty boring. He's needed, he's necessary for Aelin, but he's pretty boring. But he's had a few comments, in the past about the olive oil and all that made me laugh. And he had one
Yeah.
here that made me laugh where they were all sitting around and he opened up a little tear in the shield so that Dorian could practice his magic. And one of the beasts came
Yeah.
up and Dorian snapped his neck. And Aelin was like, "Oh, you did that? Well, what if it would have gone wrong?" And he was like, "Well, why do you think I opened it by the witch?" Then I laughed at that part. I thought it was super
Yeah.
funny. But then we see Manon sees the Eye of Elena, and we learn that it is not the Eye of Elena. It's actually a witch symbol of the three
Yeah.
goddesses.
So I got questions. Does that mean that Elena is a witch? Does she have witch blood? Why would they take her symbol and make it a witch symbol? Or why would
Would
it be
they
the other
use
way?
that? Yeah, I don't know. So, okay, we know
Who
that
had it first?
I don't know. We know Brandon forged the amulet of Orinth. Where did the Eye of Elena come from? Do we know that?
But did the witches take that and create it into a witch symbol? Or was it already a
I
witch
don't
symbol?
know. And the Eye of Elena is what was used to open the tomb or to
Yes.
lock the tomb.
I
So,
know, that
I
was because like,
ye
was she a witch? Did the witches take it? Did they make it a witch thing? I'm like,
I don't think
arrows.
she was a witch because she did have raw magic, even though it wasn't a lot, and she was fey and born by all of them, but I think they probably took it from the witches, but if the witches were a creation of the Valg and human or fey, I don't know, my
No,
brain's
I
trying to make
didn't either
connections,
because
it's
I'm
not
like,
working.
because I was like, I was trying to do a flow chart in my head. I'm like, what comes first? Like,
I wanna say it's gotta be the witch symbol, like, there's no way Elena has her whole own eye symbol when she's this random queen or princess, she was queen, right? Yeah, queen of, centuries ago who ultimately didn't do what she was supposed to do.
Yeah, she was very naughty. What if she knew that the witches and Aelin were gonna have to be aligned, that she was kind of doing that as a call to arms to the witches?
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, it's wild. It's wild.
Yes, it that's the only thing that really I was like, "Huh,
Yeah.
okay."
That's cool. So now, Manon and the witches are directly connected to the word keys
Yeah.
and the gods and all of this, greater story that we've been working on.
Yeah.
We also see here was a part where I was like, oh, and I really felt for Manon, where we see a moment where she's super vulnerable and she asks Dorian, she's like, so what's gonna happen to me whenever the gate gets sealed? Because she's part bog. And I
Yeah.
don't know, that part to me was kind of sad. I'm like, I don't think it was like, I think it was more about her belonging than her like survival.
Yeah.
Like, I think she finally feels accepted in a place where she can be herself and she's accepted for who she is and not expected to be obedient.
Yeah.
And she's scared that she's gonna lose that.
Yeah, maybe you're right. I don't know, because I thought when she said that was, does that mean that if they all get trapped back where they're supposed to go and they all disappear, what happens to her? Because she's part fog. Is she gonna
Yeah.
die? Does she
Which is
get
a
dragged
legit
with them?
question.
Does she turn human? Like, does the whole part just get ripped out and what's left is
Oh, right?
yeah, like, I
Like,
think
can
I'd
her
have some
nails just disappear? That'd be weird.
yeah! Like, do you just suddenly
I
yeah,
don't
but you're
know.
already more like, you've been living for a long time. Do you turn to dust? I'd have a lot of questions. I
Yeah,
have a lot of questions anyway. I'd be terrible in a fantasy book.
I would too. I've even, like, thought about writing a book here and there, and I'm like, "I could never. I could never. I think about everything too much, and I would have to, like,
Yeah.
make everything make too much sense, and then people would be like, 'You're over explaining.'"
Yeah, I'm an over explainer too. I need to know everything.
I do too, which, the first time I read this through, I didn't have so many questions, so, the deep dive's been fun. And now I'm like, "Alright, every other series that we do, I'm just gonna be, like, full of questions. Hopefully, we can tie them all up." So
Hope so. It feels like it's making sense. Like there's no part now by the time we get into the end of this book, I feel like she's got a good handle on the plot. I don't think anything's gonna fall through the cracks. Hope not.
we
But
will find
yeah.
out.
Yeah. I'm excited to see where it goes next.
So then, they feel this wave of magic and they recognize that there's 500 Ilkin on the horizon. And they're
Yeah.
able to get into or into stance and battle and, burn them until it's raining ash pretty quickly. But where were the word keys when she was using all this magic? Which she's got two now, right? Wait, no,
Yeah.
she has one at this point. But where is it? Because the last time she used that much magic, Deanna came and took over her body.
I'm wondering if she managed to set the magic aside this time. I'm wondering if she managed to like shield it off because she didn't know last time that would happen. She's well aware of it this time.
Yeah.
There's no way she was leaving that freaking thing laying around.
No, and that was another question whenever they were doing it is I'm like, "Okay, well, what about the key? Did we learn our lesson last time or what?"
What makes you wonder if she gave it to Lysandra, if when she shifted, whether it would trigger the same thing off or whether
Oh, I don't
that's
know. But I
different
know that they weren't
magic.
planning this attack, like, she planned
No.
the last one. She
Yeah.
called for them essentially, and this one came upon
Yeah.
her, so
Yeah.
whatever.
I think she knew how to block it this time. I think she knew how to shield it so that she wouldn't tap in.
That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. She would have to because otherwise, yeah, you're right. Why the hell did she not
Yeah,
why didn't that happen again?
yeah, so a random question. Okay, so now Elide and Lorcan meet up with them, and, we see Fenris and Gabriel having to fulfill their oaths, trying to kill him.
Yeah.
And they even Fenris accidentally almost tears Elide's arm off.
Yes.
So Rowan speaks these ancient words to like halt their attack. And like I'm so curious, like what are these ancient words that can get around a blood oath? I hope we learn more about that.
Yeah. I kind of assumed that it would must be something to do with the fact that it's two different because he is basic were they married at that point?
I think they had gotten married the night before.
So that would make him a king. So if he's speaking ancient words, that means that he's doing it as almost like a parlay between
Yeah, and it
like
didn't
we're
it
able to
didn't
deal with something first.
nullify her orders. It just halted
It
them.
just halted them, yeah,
Yeah.
until because something else had to some other thing had to be dealt with before they could go back to that.
Yeah.
So I thought it
I don't
was
know.
because he
I was curious about that, and I don't think it even touches on what it is in more detail later. It might, but I don't remember, but I was
you
interested.
and your questions!
I know. Okay, so then we see Aelin and Elide's reunion. How did you feel about that?
Heartwarmed. absolutely hot one.
Right.
Yeah, that was absolutely beautiful. Elide worked so hard to get there, and to know that she was everything she was hoping for and more was, I don't know, it
And
was
not only
lovely.
that, but to know that Aelin remembered and appreciated and loved her just as much. Aelin fell to her knees in front of
Yeah.
her. Ah,
I liked what she did when she said about her mother too, like, she would be so
yes.
proud. I'm like, "Oh."
My gosh, like, I was crying. I'm starting to tear up
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah, that was it for me, that part, I'm like, "That's just magic.
Yeah.
Magic."
That was a very good reunion, and the whole time before we even got to that, I was looking forward to their reunion, like, "Oh, I hope it's good," and it fully lived up t to that.
It absolutely did for me as well. I feel like I know that Kale's not with them right now, but it feels like more of her court is kinda coming together, like, her people, like, her core people are almost all together now.
Yes.
It's almost there.
We're working on it. So then Elite
Yeah,
gives her the word key and, tells her it's from Keltane, and also she relays the message that, with that key, they can open up any door, which we
yeah,
keep hearing that, so I'm wondering,
yeah.
like, when are we gonna see that? They haven't used it to open any doors.
They know what that means yet.
Yeah, maybe not, but
Like,
I
I
don't know, that's like the 4th time we've heard it, so I'm like, "Alright, well, when are we gonna open some doors?"
yeah, well, what door is it gonna open to? Because I wonder if they could open doors between other realms. Maybe they could be
It
bringing
says
through.
any door. I don't know. I mean, even if it's just I would have even been like, "Alright, well, I want some candy and this shop is closed, like, let's try this out." Like, I don't know, I would just be trying it out. Well, I guess not though, because then it's you wielding the key, so probably not.
Yeah, she's
That's
trying to
different.
avoid that.
Yeah, yeah, I guess.
She's got some serious control issues there.
Yeah. So then Ansel shows up and, she's queen of the wastes, which Manon is pissed about that. Rightfully so.
Yeah, but at the same time,
Yeah.
she's been got a long fucking time. Has she even been there? Didn't they say
Oh,
something about, like, they
Manon?
hadn't even been home?
No, they hadn't been home, but she couldn't rule the waste anyway because if a witch is ruling there, then the land is gonna be, dead and
Yeah,
not, grow anything. So at least with Ansel being there, they're able to utilize that land.
yeah.
So and then we also see Casita, her horse.
I thought that was really nice. That was a nice touch.
Yeah, it was. It was.
And she kept hold of the horse the whole time.
She what?
She kept it. Did she keep it for her? In
I
hopes of
So I think she got it back for her because she had sold it to who did she sell it to? She sold it to someone evil. I can't remember, but she sold Casita to get money for something in one of the earlier books. But anyway, we also find out we had talked about why Aelin had dyed her hair red and to like trick Erewan and stuff, and that was another layer to that.
I know, but you were like, you asked me about that, and I thought that I knew, and I didn't fucking know.
It was because she was imitating, like, Connell I don't remember the person's name, but one of Arobyn's, like, clients, and then she
Yeah.
ended up blaming it on that client after she had gone and rescued Adian, so that was it, but it was the bigger thing, I think, was Ansel.
Yeah, it's because she used her name, had the same haircut. She said, "I
Like,
knew
yeah,
that would get
yeah,
her attention."
yeah.
That was fucking amazing, man. It was brilliant. But that just shows you right there that she has been planning every little step of the way for a long time.
Yeah, she has.
She's been putting all these little pieces in place for way longer than we even realized.
Yep. We're just seeing the front screen, she's behind the scenes doing, like, 20 different steps.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy that she is this smart.
Yeah, I love it. So then we also learned that the fires in Eelway were not started by Erewan. They were, in fact, started by Maeve.
Yeah,
What Maeve's willing to let all these innocent people die, what, just to manipulate perception and paint Aelin as the villain? Like,
yeah,
Maeve is a piece of trash.
yes,
And then Manon and Dorian have sex for the first time,
yes,
which is exciting. I love that she is able to now relinquish her control and find, like, freedom in her intimacy, I guess,
yeah,
instead of how she's viewed it before, and I love it. That's just her stepping outside and breaking all of these ties and chains that she's had with the Iron Teeth
yeah.
clan for all of these years, and I love them so much.
I do too. I do too. It was good.
Okay, so then Manon and Aelin go into the witch mirror, and we see Deanna's words that I asked you about in the last part, which makes sense now. The flame and iron together, bound, merge into silver to find what must be found. So, obviously that is Aelin and Manon. So they have been prophesized from however long by the gods to do this.
Exactly. Yeah.
I love. We see Rhiannon Kraken helped forge the lock, and then we learn that whoever wields it must give up their entire life force. So that's gonna be sad. Do you think it'll be Aelin or Dorian?
Ooh, I think they're trying to make us think it's gonna be Aelin because she's kind of already making preparations for that she's gonna give up her life. I never thought about it being Dorian.
Yeah,
That's
Aelin's been the queen who's promised. She's been prophesized to do it, but Dorian is getting all this character growth. I don't think he's gonna stay on the sidelines, so it kinda
no,
presents
but they didn't
a
say the king
question.
that was prophesized. They that's
No, but it did say it has to be someone from Mala's bloodline, and they both are.
could they not both join their life forces together and give some time over? Does it have to
You want
be
them to
death?
both die?
No! No, I mean, like, they joined their magic before. Why couldn't their
Yeah.
magic be enough to close,
Oh, yeah,
opposed to their
and maybe then
life?
they wouldn't both have to die. They could both just, be injured
Yeah.
for however
I don't
long.
know, I kinda get the feeling that there is going to be a loophole in there somewhere where she doesn't have to die for this because I don't want her to die, and if you tell me she's gonna die, I'm done with this series.
Yeah, well, SJM loves her twist, so we will see.
Yes. Yes, she does. So I'm hoping that there's gonna be a workaround.
Yeah. Well, if there is, they'll find it because
Yes.
they've got lots of brilliant minds on their side.
Yes, they do, they really do. They have and they've all got different ways of thinking, and they bounce off of each other to create new ways of thinking, and that's brilliant. I love that.
And now they're all in on the game and in on the loop too, so that's just
Yeah.
gonna help. But in the mirror, we get history. We
Yes.
see Brannon forging the amulet of Orient. We see him creating Elena's tomb and leaving the
Yep.
riddles for Aelin or whoever. And then we also see him making Mort with the metal that was gifted from Rhiannon Kraken.
Yeah.
And then that made me wonder, I'm like, so after Aelin killed Baba Yellowlegs and she went down there, Mort immediately was like, "Oh, witch killer." And I'm wondering if he was able to pick up on that sense so quickly because he's made or had lived with the witches at one point too.
Yeah.
Oh. But
Intriguing.
then Elena shows up and she shows Aelin the night that she survived. And we learned that Elena actually defied the gods and she knew that in saving Aelin, she was essentially, after all of this plays out, she's going to be gone. Her soul will be
Yeah.
completely gone. So that makes me wonder, like, was Aelin truly chosen if she died? Or did Elena just manufacture it this way?
Oh, I don't know if the fate it would have fallen to Dorian if Aelin had died, but I think Elena couldn't bring herself to watch her die. I
Yeah.
don't think she necessarily wanted it to be her. I just don't think she could allow this poor child that's already been through hell to not survive. It
Yeah.
was it was interesting to say the least because I kind of hated Elena for a while. I felt like she was big part of the problem, but at the same time, her hands were tied as well. And
Yeah,
the
they
things that she did do was she was trying to give them a shot. But yeah, I kind of hated her a bit. I kind of hated her a little
And
bit.
I kept being like, "Well, why wasn't she more forthcoming with her information?" And she was like, "Well, I couldn't stay that long." And I'm like, "Okay, well." But I wonder
I
how
would, yeah.
like, I wonder how heavily that weighs on Aelin, or if it doesn't, that the only reason that she's alive is because, Elena essentially gave up her eternity with her family and loved ones and all of
I
that.
don't know because if it was me, not being able to have died with my family, like you kind of took that from me. If I was supposed to die, you took that from me.
Yeah,
For what? You
so that
know?
you can come fight for the rest of your life and be enslaved and
Yeah, like, I don't know. Like, if I'd have thinking about it, if my parents had died and I could have been joined with them in the afterlife, I think I'd be a little fucking mad. You took
but
that from me.
silver lining is she did encourage her to go to Windland to meet
Yes.
Rowan.
Don't even get me started on all that.
So there is a silver lining. At least she gave her one positive and someone to love, as opposed
Yes.
to going to visit her.
But Maeve was trying to set all that shit up as well.
Oh my gosh, I know we will get there.
Yes, we will. I will be quiet.
So let's jump. That's the end of the Witchmares. Let's jump back to on the ships where Maeve shows up and she's like, "You've got one day to surrender." And then Rowan's going around trying to get his cousins, on their side. And then the next day, Maeve's firing arrows and all of that. And then we see his cousin ships sailing out with a silver banner with a screaming hawk. And they turn and they fire on their own armada.
Yeah. I
And
love
I'm
that.
Yeah, I did too. I was like, "Hell yeah." And that's a whole third of their army. That's a lot. But so the silver flag, yes, because he said whenever he went to go visit his cousin, he also had silver hair. But I'm
Yeah,
wondering, like, what is the screaming hawk on there? Is that depicting Rowan, or do more of them shift into hawks? Like, is that a family shift?
maybe.
I wanna look it up because I don't know that we ever learned what their Fae forms are, but, that was I'm like,
Hmm.
"Hmm, is that Rowan on their flag?"
Well, that would be interesting. Well, isn't he their like, they're all royalty,
He is
right?
a prince, but he's got a lot of cousins, and apparently he's further down the line, like, there are many other princes in front of him, so maybe their, like,
Interesting.
king or their leader was a hawk as well, and
Yeah, maybe.
he just is.
Maybe
I
it's
don't
just a
know.
thing. 'Cause is that that's all he shifts into, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, they get
he can't
one
he's not like Lysandra where she can do anything.
no. That'd be
She's a
cool, though.
badass, man.
I know, I love her so much. Okay, so then now Maeve calls for Gabrielle and Fenris, and I think Gabrielle, Fenris, I'm not sure, one of them points at the shore to let
Yeah,
them know, like, "Oh, hey, you should look over there," and they look over there and see that Maeve is up on the shore.
yeah.
So, she has finally left Dornell, and she is
Yes.
no longer like this puppet pulling the strings from in her protection behind her megalith wards. So
Mhm.
this is, like, seeing her out and seeing her allowing herself to be vulnerable here, I'm like, "Alright, so this isn't just one of your moves. I feel like this is the move. Like, you're coming to get
Yeah.
the word keys, and you're coming to get your weapon. You're coming to get Aelin." Okay, so battle's going, kinda bad. Dorian is burning out and all of that, and then the 13 show up.
I was so glad. Like, I was like, "Yes!"
Me too. I put my arm in there. I'm like, "Fuck
Yeah,
yes!" Like,
ugh,
I love the
I'm there
13
like
so
this.
much. I just love the
I'm s
witches.
I'm so glad that they all survived because I was really worried about that
You
maybe
really think
some of them
Ashram is
hadn't
dead?
made it because that would have been tragic, but at least most of them made it out, but they're all there.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really awesome because whenever the Bloodhound threw, Ashton's leather band down and said that she had unclean on her, I'm like, "Oh, well, she knows."
Yeah,
But they're probably just, aligned with that grandma bitch, and she probably
yeah,
told her about it, so, yeah, I was super, super thankful to see them show up. It was perfect timing, but, just a little ray of hope.
and Abraxas again saving the bloody day.
I know, right? Gosh, he's the best. So then Aelin and Manon are kind of spit back out right on the shore with Maeve. So they see Maeve and they see Elide on her knees, with a
Yeah.
blade to her throat. And, Aelin meets Manon in her usual cocky way. But usually I feel like her cockiness is deserved, or like, I think in this instance, I think she was using it to mask her fear because she's burnt out. She doesn't have
Yeah.
any of her typical, resources to fight her. So she still handled it all right. But we learned that Lorcan summoned Maeve and how dangerous desperation can be. And yes, he did it to save Elide. Like, okay, how would this have gone, really? Do you think that you fought Ilkin? You know that they can regenerate. Like, do you think that Maeve would have come to save you and the girl that you like? And whenever she's got a bounty, like a on your head, like she wants you dead.
Yeah.
Would she come and save her? And if so,
It was not logical.
would her armada have even been able to take them out? Like, I don't know.
Thing for me was it wasn't logical. He knew he was in trouble. He knew
Yeah,
Maeve wouldn't give a fuck about this girl. What the hell did he actually think was gonna happen?
and he sees Rowan and Aelin and Fenris and Gavriel and all of these people over there. Why not fight off with them instead of calling your bitch queen?
I don't think he was thinking about it.
I don't
Because I'm
either.
like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. She wants you dead, bro. You know this. Why the fuck would you call her?
Yeah, this one moment of fear literally in my mind, like, erases his centuries of cunning awesomeness. That
Common sense? Common? She would have found them anyway. I know that he probably brought it to them a bit sooner, but she was coming anyway.
Yeah, she had planned for Aelin to be burnt out at this point in time
Yeah.
anyways,
So
but I
she would it would have been a little bit of a delay, and
yeah,
maybe Aelin would have had enough time to regenerate her power, but not with all the shit that was going on. I don't know.
right.
I think Lorcan just that didn't make sense to me. That just everything I thought I knew about him just didn't make sense anymore.
Yeah, I didn't like that moment either. Then he tells Maeve that Aelin has 2 of the keys, and she has a pretty good idea of where Erewan keeps the 3rd.
Yeah.
And then Maeve breaks Gavriel's blood oath without honor, and then turns around to Fenris and was like, "Mm-mm, not you. You're gonna stay
Yeah.
with me forever."
'Cause that's what he wants is to be
I
free. And so
know.
she was smart there. She was
She
smart.
did.
She knew the worst thing she could do was hold on to him.
I know, and she knew that Gabriel's, a man of honor, so him
Yeah.
being dismissed without that would hurt him. Oh, man, I didn't like that, though. But,
Yeah.
okay, after all that, Aelin goes down, and Maeve is like, "Get up," and she uses invisible hands to lift her up and cut her weapons off. So Maeve has these invisible hands too? Is it raw
Yeah.
magic like Dorian's? Because
Has to be. It
I've been
has to
going
be.
people say that they don't understand her magic. So what we know of her magic so far is she is able to, like, see through people's eyes, I think because she
Yeah.
stayed in Doranel for so long and she had, like, these spies, I guess. And she also has invisible hands, and she also was able to fabricate this entire alternate reality with Rowan. What is and Brandon said that he can't understand nobody understands her power, but, like, I'm sitting here trying to dissect it, and I'm like, "What is this?"
Yeah, I think that she has raw magic, but that's not the only thing she has, and she was very secretive about what she had, right? So
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
it's just more of the fact that no one knew because no one survived that knew what she did except for people with blood oaths.
I don't know. But we all
She is a slimy little fuck though.
Yes, she is, and gosh, this is just another example of how well SJM writes these villains. Like, she starts
Yeah.
off with you disliking them, and it just grows and grows and grows, like, with
Oh, I hate
regards to
her.
the king and Erewan and the grandma and Maeve now, like, that's why I told you, you were like, "I hate Erewan." I'm like, "Oh gosh, there's gonna be more villains, you just wait."
You know what? He's pretty much like the low rung now. Like there's people that are worse. I
But we
just
all
the whole thing with Maeve and what she tells her, I was getting so fucking angry. I can't show you because I don't think you're about to see it, but I've got dents where I was squeezing the book. I'm like, what? You did what?
This is Maeve's neck. So yeah, the what she freaking fabricated this alternate reality where Rowan believes that Lyria is his mate. And not
Yeah.
only that, she had her killed just to break Rowan.
Whilst pregnant, just to break him. And it wasn't that she needed to do that. It was an interesting experiment of her power.
Gosh, I
Yuck.
know I hated it so much. Like all of this grief and trauma and guilt and all of these negative emotions that Rowan's been carrying around for however long, 100 years or more. It was just freaking manufactured by Maeve. For
Yeah,
what?
it's
For fun.
disgusting. For
For
fun.
fun. So that
Just to see
she
if
can have
she
Aelin in her
could.
pocket.
Yeah, just to see if she fucking could. Yeah, I was
And so we know how
enraged.
much Aelin loves Rowan, and we know how protective she is of the people that we love. So, oh my gosh, we're this mad reading it from an outsider perspective, but imagine what Aelin is feeling in this moment. I'm surprised she didn't, like, burst into flames right there.
Yeah, and I think if she'd have had any of her magic stuff, she probably fucking would have, because
Yeah,
that was
I agree.
horrible.
Yeah, it was
That
pretty
was
bad.
she didn't even admit that they were mates because she knew he wasn't ready for that, and
Yep.
that's horrible.
I know. So, also here we learn that Aelin is about 5 years away from settling, and she would live for
Yes.
about 1,000 years, which is so bad in either aspect, honestly, because what? You get captured by Maeve and you are you're tortured by her and wielded as a weapon by her for 1,000 years, or on this
Fuck
other
that.
hand, you somehow get away or whatever, and now you have to give up your 1,000 years for the
I'd
greater
give
good
up
of Aurelia.
I would give up my 1,000 years. I
Yeah.
wouldn't wanna be
Me
a
too.
minute near that fucking woman.
No, me too,
Not
but,
1
way it's
minute.
lose-lose.
But I would wanna lose on my terms.
I agree. So, Aelin surrenders to Maeve
Yeah,
because she's burnt out and she has to, and also to save Elide. And then Lorcan and Fenris are ordered to just stand there and watch, and
yeah,
Aelin gives all of her last words to be relayed to everybody, and those were kinda sad.
yeah.
She's just accepting this defeat now. And
Is
then
she? Because she never really does accept it even when it looks hopeless.
well, she bowed to her, and then she refused to count the whippings, which I'm like, "Why are you gonna bow but not count? Like, pick your
Because
defiance."
that was her boundary right there. That was something that was a fear of hers. So I
Yeah,
think that was her defiance based on something that she wasn't gonna allow to rule her again.
yeah, I see that. So
Yeah,
we
but she's every single, like, every time it said again,
I
oh,
know.
my yeah, I was sick. I felt
And not
sick.
only that, but it mentioned, like, okay, she's obviously traumatized from all of these whippings in the past, but now it's like, now Karen is holding the whip, who is a female, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, he's so much stronger."
That's the
And
power right there,
and
yeah.
he's sadistic, and she compared him to what's his face? Farron, who
Yeah.
plucked out Sam's eyeballs in the beginning. So, like, whew, that was tough. That
Yeah,
was
it
tough,
was
and Dave knows how bad whipping is for her. We saw it whenever she had Rowan whipped.
yeah. But I think for me this time around, when it was happening before, that was punishments for grievances that she didn't really exist. I think she took the lashings for her people.
Y
She at that point, she was taking those lashes for the people she loved, and I think
yeah,
that was different. And I think that might even be slightly healing in a way, because she did that. She had a real reason to be whipped now, because she refused to. I felt a little differently about it. I felt disgusted by it, but I kind of felt like there was something there for her. She was doing this for a reason,
yeah.
allowing this to happen that way.
She was. It's
She
sad
could
though.
have counted them out and it would have been over. Like, how
Yeah,
many did she get in the end? It was a lot. You
I
couldn't even
don't
see
know.
her freaking back to blood.
Yeah, and
Just
there
torn
was,
to
like,
shreds.
splattered blood everywhere, like, straight
Yeah.
down to her bone, and then not only that, they don't heal her, and not only that, after that, they put her in the iron mask, in the iron chains,
Yep.
in the iron box, which iron nullifies all of their magic,
Never
so
mind.
she's not
Yeah.
even going to be able to heal
She's not even better
herself
heal herself.
properly. Oh, how
Traumatic.
defeating. She's just been, like, stripped of all of her power and all of her people and everything, and now she's freaking a slave again, and it's so sad.
Gonna see anything about this in the next book, are we?
Nope,
Because
the
it's
next book
terrible.
happens in the southern continent along the same timeline that this one was happening. So
Yeah,
we
that's what I
hear
mean. So,
some things in the next book, we hear some things that have happened in this book, like, as they're
okay.
happening, but no,
As
we
they're
have a
happening, yeah.
whole book in between now and then coming back to the storyline. I know, and that's why people do suggest the tandem read, which I still haven't done, but I feel like the tandem read would probably be kinda hard to do, A, for timing for the podcast, and B, for people who
Yeah.
wanna read it along with us for the podcast.
Yeah.
No, but you
That
like
would be
chaos.
weird.
And I'm not gonna lie, some of the stuff that happens in the next book is really, really freaking cool. There's
I just need to know she's gonna be okay and it's gonna get over quick, but there's gonna be a whole other book in the middle of that. Well, I
yeah,
wanna know what's gonna happen, but it's a long time to wait.
it's a lot. It's a lot, and there's some I'm not even gonna say anything. I don't wanna ruin anything. There's a bunch of obstacles and things. We'll get
Why
there.
why did Sarah J. Maas write it like this? Because she could have just done the 2 books and had, like, why didn't she just do points of view in these books instead of doing it like this?
What do you mean? Like, the
Like, she could
tandem,
have
right?
done she could have done, like, Lorcan and Alid
And
and then,
then jump to Kale?
Aelin, then gone to Kale. Yeah, like, she could have done those
I
2
think
books
it's
as a
I think because this book is so action-packed, like, from start to finish. It starts off action, 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 and then in the Chaol book, they have to build so much. Like, you're being introduced to a new kingdom, to an entire new cast of
okay,
people, to their way of living, and I
okay.
think it would be hard to jump back and forth between building this up. I think it would honestly make those chapters so much more boring. Like, I feel like I wouldn't wanna go read those chapters because
Okay.
there's so much action going on here.
Maybe
I don't
that'll
know.
make sense to me when I start reading it. Maybe that'll make sense because 'cause I'm just like, they could have just stuck the Kale sections in there,
No.
and we could have just had
It's a slow start, but I love Tower of Dawn. It's really, really good. I
I'm
ranked it
excited to get
above
to
Air
it.
of Fire, so
I'm excited to get to it. I like Kale, so I've got no problem with this book. It's just that now I have to wait to know how Aelin's doing.
you
It
do have to wait, for
feels
sure,
like we're
but
going,
she's not doing so hot, so trust me, you'll be fine waiting. So let's finish this really quick. So Maeve then strips Lorcan of his blood oath and exiles him, and we see him crawl to her like a little bitch
yeah,
boy.
yeah, that was
I lost
gross.
a little bit of respect for him in that moment.
I lost all respect for him. That with the
Whatever
second one
little
when
bit
he
I
was
had
crawling, I
left.
was like,
Yeah, whatever
"Oh, it's
little bit I
gone.
had left after he summoned her, like, no. Nope, nope.
Oh, no, it's gone now. It is
Yeah.
all gone."
But she wanted okay, so this is another thing. This shows, like, how much Maeve thinks that she is won and she's in control because
Yeah,
it commented in there that she wanted Lorcan dead because he was too powerful and she didn't want Aelin to be able to have him in her
yeah,
power.
yeah,
But now she not only just freed Gavriel, but she also freed Lorcan. So, like, she
yeah.
100% is like, "Oh, I got this. Aelin's mine. Y'all go do whatever you want. She's not leaving."
I think she thinks that she's broken both of those men by letting them go.
Yeah, I do too, yeah. She can break people
Yeah,
without killing them, that's for freaking sure.
that's pretty
So,
disgusting.
yeah.
Yeah,
Mm. So then we
I'm
learned
angry.
that Aelin had slipped the word keys into Manon's pocket, which I am fucking glad because as Manon was standing there just being all indifferent, I was mad at her.
I was so angry. I'm like, "What the fuck? You know your fates are intertwined. You just fucking just watch that through the mirror.
And
Why
you
are
act
you
like
as
you don't give
mad
a
as
fuck?
that?"
Yes, I was so mad. So whenever I found that, I was like, "Okay, at least it was calculated. You're doing it for the greater good. I get it. Gotta keep the keys out of Maeve's hands." So
I get
then
it now. Fuck, I was mad.
I know, so was I. So, yeah, we did learn that, Rowan and Aelin had gotten married so that Terrasen would have a king, that Lysandra is told that she must wear Aelin's skin forever and have kids with Adian, and freaking Adian pissed me off so much. First of all, he tells her to go to hell and calls her a
Yep.
lying bitch.
Yep.
Excuse me, like, you, sir, I don't like I'm so mad at so many people at the end of this book, like, he's just emotionally shutting her down, and not only that, she is now having to give up her identity, which she just got back. She
Yep.
literally just got her identity back, and now she's having to be Aelin forever, like,
Yep.
poor Lysandra, man, and she's probably feeling all these things too, but she wants to do it for the greater good, and she turns to Adian, and Adian's like, "F you, you lied to me." And then she even went to go try to talk to him later, and he sidestepped her. Like, I was so mad at him.
I think he thought if he knew the truth of what they were planning, that he could have found another way for this not to have happened. And he feels really he was not told what was going on, and now he's been blindsided by it. Like, I can't he's a bit emotional. It must be a thing in their family line to be hot-headed because Aelin's the same way. So I
Yeah,
kinda get it. But he will also calm down and he will be better. He'll be okay.
but
Like, he
he needs
says
to
things in the
learn.
heat of a moment.
Yes, he does. He needs to learn how to hold his tongue because he called Aelin all
Yes.
these bad things whenever he found out about the Blood Oath, and now he's calling her a lying bitch. Like, excuse me, you said you were gonna marry that woman, and you're calling her a lying bitch because she omitted something from you that came from your queen?
Yeah.
I don't
I
know.
think
That
that
made me
he thought that I think he thought that they had something more, that she wouldn't have kept stuff from him, and that must have really hurt because he's finally been vulnerable with somebody and he felt shut out. But he needs to learn just to be quiet for a sec, bro. Think about it for a minute and then open your mouth. Count to
digging
10.
yourself in deeper. Yes,
Count to
grow
10.
up.
Yeah.
So
This is fuck.
but then Elide tells Lorcan that she hopes that he spends his whole life alone and suffering and full of regret and guilt. Was that fair? I mean, she's always been harsh with her words, but was that deserved?
I think she actually held back because I had a
I
lot
do
more fucking things go through
too.
my
I do
head. I
too,
think she
actually.
was yeah. I think
Because
that she could have said a lot more and didn't.
in her mind, the reason that Aelin, her queen, who she's fought so long to get to, was just whipped in front of them and taken away is because Lorcan called for Maeve. Like, they don't 100% know that she was on her way already. Like, they saw her
No.
ship disappear, so it could have been teleporting. She could have teleported straight away, you know?
Yep. Yeah.
But then
I
Manon
don't know.
gives the keys to Dorian and, tells Dorian, "Hey, Mala's blood runs in your line too. Like, you could fight Erewan." So I think he's starting to mentally prepare himself that that could be a thing.
But thank God that him and Aelin didn't take things any further because they're related. I don't care how distant.
But so
They're
are
related.
Aelin and Rowan. So
It
are
makes more
Aelin
sense
and
in the play. I
Rowan.
don't know why.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know why. It just makes more sense. Why.
Okay, so we end with Galen Ash River, the Prince of Windland, showing up with
Yeah.
his many, many fleets, and then the Silent Assassins also showing up. And we see this moment of Adian falling to his knees and sobbing because he's feeling all of this guilt for being judgy and, jumping to conclusions whenever he told Aelin, "Where are our allies? Where are
Yeah.
our armies?" Being a dick
Come on.
to her. But excuse me, Adian, where is the Bane? We have not seen them, and we've been hearing about them since book, what, 2?
Yep.
Where the fuck are the Bane?
That is really interesting.
Who knows? All I know is the first time I read this through, I was like, "Where are the Bane?" And now I'm like, "Where are they?"
Fuck are they? Yeah.
Gosh. But hopefully all these numbers and everybody showing up, even though they showed up a little bit late, will be enough to turn the tide of the war.
Let's hope. Because they're not even just fighting one battle. They've got multiple fronts.
Yeah, they've got Aelin taken away with this evil
Bitch queen.
bitch. That's exactly what I was thinking, but I was like, I already called her that. Let's come up with something new. So they've got to, try to rescue her, defeat Maeve, and defeat Erewan. Thankfully they've got all these people coming together. So we'll
Yeah.
see how that goes. But we end with Lorcan, Owen, Gabriel, and I think Elide is with them too, going to try to rescue Aelin, and then
I
Manon and Dorian.
No, Elide left with the witches, didn't she? She climbed on a wyvern behind Astron,
That
didn't she
was
not?
did she? Okay, I couldn't
Yeah.
remember. I had Elide question mark in there, and I was gonna go back
Yeah,
and
she left because that's when she does that parting shot to Lorcan. She climbs on the back of that wyvern because someone else gets on another wyvern.
Dorian gets on with Manon.
'Cause he's like,
Yeah, that is
yeah,
exciting, right? But they're
yeah,
gonna
because
go
most
rescue her,
people
then
didn't.
they're off to try to get Krakens on their side, so we will
That's
end
exciting.
off there, and then we will jump back in time to Kale in his wheelchair.
Yeah.
Not
I'm
like
excited to see what's going on with him, but I just knowing that I'm not gonna hear anything about Aelin's gonna really suck. Like, not going forward, I mean, like, we're gonna get updates of kind of like we've already had.
yeah. Well, I mean, in 2 weeks, we'll be jumping into Kingdom of Ash, and it's so good. It is the best final book of any series I think I've ever.
I'm excited. I'm excited. I am really enjoying the deep diving. I
Yeah,
am.
how did you like this book? Where does it fall in your ranking?
So far, it's the best one yet
You think
for me.
so? I
Yeah.
still think that I like Queen of Shadows better, and I was trying to think why, because I love this book too. But I really like how they had all of these tasks to complete in Queen of Shadows, and they actually completed them, and then it ends the
Yeah.
book with the feelings that you have at the end of that book and the feelings that you have at the end of this book are complete opposite ends of the spectrum, right? So Queen of
Yeah.
Shadows, you end on this, like, hopeful note, everyone's stepping
Yeah.
into their own, and life is good, we will rebuild the road to this better future, and then the end of this book is everybody hates everybody and everything went wrong. So
Yeah, but I think for me, a lot of the threads that Aelin's been pulling on this whole time make sense now. And I feel like I can see where we're going next. Whereas with the other books, I'm like, oh, I have no idea how they're going to fucking do any of this shit.
yeah.
Like at this point, I probably would be laying down and taking a nap because it's just too much.
Yeah, we didn't quite know how bad things were gonna get with Maeve. We didn't know if she
Yeah.
was gonna ally
Well, I
with
told you,
or
yeah, well, I didn't know who she was going to side with. And honestly, I still don't really know if she's even going to align herself with Erewhon because
or
she
if she
doesn't
just
seem
wants
like she
power on her
really
own.
wants to, or
But
if
she
she
wants
thinks
the
that she's
keys.
going to take over the whole
Yeah,
lot.
she wants the
Get rid of
keys.
him and take over for herself.
That's, I think, what she wants. She just wants power. She wants
Yeah,
power and to
she's
sit
just
in her little castle with her little pretty cadre boys in her bed and doing evil
look. I'm
things for
not
her.
saying, but that doesn't sound terrible.
You're like, "Actually, when you put it that way."
I could maybe go for some of that.
Man. No,
But
it's
it's good. It's
yeah.
really heating up now. It's really heating up, and I'm excited to see where this goes.
Me too. Did I skip anything?
No, no, I
I
hate that because now I have to go
know.
con
I know, because 'cause I'll be reading and writing, and I'm like, wait a second," and I'm like, "Well, I gotta at least voice it. Maybe you thought about it too. Maybe you have ideas. Maybe I missed something." Like, I don't know.
no, because normally I'm on the same page as you, but sometimes you'll say something, I'm like, "I didn't fucking catch that," and I have to go think about it.
Yep.
And I can't Google it because I refuse to Google anything because we haven't finished
Yeah,
this
do
series
not
yet.
do that until
No,
the end.
I don't like spoilers, so
Yeah, I need to write a page just of my questions, and then whenever we're done, go Google them all, because the one with
yeah.
Fenris and his nameless is Maeve's Price is my biggest. That
Yeah,
one, and
I
then the
need to know
Bloodhound
that
being a
now.
shifter were 2 that I was like, the biggest questions that I had in this one.
Well, now they're two of my biggest questions, so thanks.
You're welcome.
Talk about sleep now.
Yes. All right. Tower of
Okay.
Dawn next week.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. I hope
I
you
think
come back and join us. Me and Hannah are having a great time doing these deep dives, so I hope that you're enjoying them as well. If you
yes.
want to follow us on our social medias, you can find Hannah on Instagram at the Toppling TBR underscore Hannah, and that's HANNA.
Yes.
Almost did that again.
You
You can
got it.
follow me too at the Toppling TBR underscore Stacey Stacey. We have a Facebook page at the Toppling TBR. We have our YouTube channel at the Toppling TBR, and you can find us on Spotify as well. We hope that you have a great reading weekend, guys, and we will catch you next week.
See you
Take care.
later.